All right, all right. What's going on, y'all? This is Clarence Jr. breaking down the Bulldogs. And what I want to talk today about is, it's been a few weeks since the decision was made to not continue with Kyle Jackson. Since then, a move has been made at Winston-Salem State, and they have hired a coach. And so what I figured I'd do is I'd give some more coaching candidates. Because, in HBCU spaces, in particular, Division II spaces, we don't really think outside of the box. It tends to be alumni or assistants at Division One HBCUs or somebody at another school. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to throw out there some more options, some more possibilities, since we have not made a move yet. So I'm going to get into some of those very quickly. And I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time either. We're going to start off with, once again, most of these are going to be some outside of the box choices. That's, typically you wouldn't see these kind of hires at a Division II HBCU in the CIAA, especially not at Bowie State. But why not throw them out there and see what happens? So first we have Pedro Aruza. He's a Division III football coach. Right? He's the head football coach at Randolph-Macon, which is Division III. Once again, he's been there for 22 years. So maybe he's not leaving. He wants to stay right there at Division II, or maybe he wants to challenge at Division II. Right? But let's look at his accomplishments over 22 years as a head coach. He's won 9 more games in 6 straight years. 2018, 2019, 21, 22, 23, 24. 6 straight years with at least 9 wins. 6 straight 9-win seasons. He's 44-3 in conference since 2018. 44-3. He's 48-5 overall since 2020. 48-5. He has a 90% winning percentage overall since 2020 and a 93% winning percentage in conference since 2018. He's won 25 straight conference games. It's like 26 straight winning. Oh, hold up. Streak of, going into 2024, they had a streak of 26 regular season wins in a row. Once again, look at this. 82-15 overall, 54-6 in the conference since 2016. 6 championships in the past 9 years. Went to the Sweet 16 for football the last 3 years in a row. 11-1 in 22, 13-1 in 23, 10-2 in 24. So once again, listen, if he's interested in moving up to Division II and trying something else, hey, I don't see why this couldn't be somebody that you might potentially look at with that kind of resume and record. That's one. Let's go to the next one. I got a list of about 5 people. All right. The next one is going to be, once again, all these are outside of the box. Next, we're going to go to Jeremy Harmer, who is the offensive coordinator at Glenville State. He's been the OC at Glenville State for 8 years. No, he's been at Glenville State for 8 years. He's been the OC for 1 or 2 years. That's what it is. He's been there for 8 years. He just stepped into the offensive coordinator role. This is something that's interesting because obviously our biggest issue was offense. Also, we had some issues with the offensive line because when you have Michael Robinson and Maximus Jones, there's no reason we had a good running attack, but it should have been even way more potent with both of them two together. So the fact that his offensive lines, he had 3 players go all conference. Hey, that's what we need. Even though one of the running backs did enter into the portal. But if you look at Glenville State's offense in 2025, let's look at it. They scored 32 points a game, way more than what we did. They ran for 177 yards a game, 16 touchdowns. They passed for 274 yards a game and had 29 passing touchdowns. Let's look at red zone. 49 red zone attempts, 42 scores, 32 touchdowns in 49 red zone attempts. Let's look at individuals. Let's look at with the core rushing. They had one back with over 1,000 yards, and they had several with over 300. They had 3 backs averaging over 4 yards a carry, one at 5. You look at passing. They had a quarterback with a completion percentage of 56%, 3,000 passing yards, 29 touchdowns. So that was the second candidate, somebody who has experience coaching offensive lines, runs the ball efficiently with the offenses that he has, and had an offense that put up 30-plus points a game this past season. Once again, these are outside of the box choices, you know? We typically go for the same type of person consistently, but let's look outside of the box. That's 2. Oh, somebody calling me is ringing on my decline that. All right. Next, so that's 2. We got a Division III guy, then we got an OC at Glenville State. None of these are black so far. None of these are HBCU guys so far. But I do have some other options. So let's go here. I told you we've gone way outside of the box. Here we go. Trent Early at Prairie View A&M. We just saw Prairie View go down to Jackson State and upset Jackson State to win the SWAC. We know about the head coach, Tremaine Jackson, and how he won at Valdosta State, then went over to Prairie View and won the championship in the first year. Everybody talks about that Prairie View defense, right? And so I said, you know what? Since everybody's talking about coach, talking about the head coach and talking about the best defense in the SWAC, and they went down there and won the championship, let's look at the assistant coaches under him. And so here we have Trent Early, who is he's the assistant head coach and the co-defensive coordinator. This is his first season as the assistant head coach and co-defensive coordinator. And they had the best defense in the SWAC. Once again, he was there at Valdosta State, and he came with them to Prairie View. They had a 212 defense at Valdosta State, and they gave up 13 points a game. And so I'm looking at all the. Also, he played linebacker at Texas Southern. He was a grad assistant at the University of Texas. He has a long resume. He assisted North Texas as a special teams analyst. He worked at Northwestern State as a linebacker defensive grad assistant. Excuse me. So once again, he may be in the running for some Division I jobs, but if not, I don't see why this couldn't be somebody that you potentially look at. The SWAC champion staff, right? That's another one, right? Now, have some other ones here. Let's look at, I think I got two more, maybe. Make sure I don't miss anybody. All right. Now we have, here we go. Chris Barnett, the offensive coordinator, QB coach at Alabama State. Once again, this may be someone who's looking to get a Division I opportunity, right? But if not, we all know about the strides and the improvement that Alabama State's offense has made, particularly this last year with Andrew Body. So if no Division I opportunities open up and Chris Barnett is looking to become a head coach and he doesn't mind coaching at the Division II level, I don't see why this is not a call you make. He's in his second season as OC and quarterbacks coach at Alabama State. They look at this. They rushed for 2,300 yards, including 4 games of 200 plus. They ran for a season high 308 yards at Bethune-Cookman. Listen, man. They outrushed 9 of their 12 opponents, while only 17 sacks allowed for the entire season. Barnett coached, he's from the CIAA. He was an offensive coordinator at Winston-Salem State and a wide receivers coach at South Carolina State. He was also an offensive coordinator and QB coach at North Carolina A&T. He has a very, very strong and long resume. So, once again, if he's interested in becoming a head coach and there aren't any Division I opportunities that open up so far, hey, I don't see why we don't see and ask him if he would be interested in becoming the head coach at Bowie State University. So we have Chris Barnett. Next, once again, these are outside of the box because we always make the same kind of predictable hires. But let's go here. Next, we have another. This is way outside of the box too. We have another Division III head coach at Susquehanna. We have Tom Perkovich. He's been there since 2015. He's won 51 games in the last 5 seasons. At least 9 wins for the last 5 years. He led them to the Division III semifinals, the furthest the team has ever went in school history. His overall record is 73-22. He is 12-0 in the Landmark Conference. He's 46-17 in the Centennial Conference. He's 4-0 in bowl games. There's a rivalry game he's 8-0 in. There's another rivalry game he's 7-1 in. He's 7-2 for homecoming. Listen, once again, if this is someone who's feels like they've done all they can do at Division III and they're looking for a challenge, I don't see why you don't make a call and say, hey, we got a Division II program. We'd like to see if you can duplicate this success. Look at this. 23 straight regular season wins from 2021 to the present. Has not lost a regular season game since 2021. 15 straight wins from 2019 to 2021. 23 straight games without a regulation loss. Look at some of the records they set. In 2019, they scored 476 points. In 2019, they had 66. These are video game numbers. 66 touchdowns. They had 32 rushing touchdowns in the season. Then in 2021, they had 31 passing touchdowns. Once again, these are some outside of the box, people that I'm looking at. You have some HBCU Division I coordinators maybe you want to reach out to. You have a Division II PWI coordinator. And then you have 2 Division III head coaches. And that's in addition to some of the other coaches that I threw out there for the first video. So at this point, I have made a suggestion of about 8 or 9 different people. I'm just going through here, making sure I didn't miss anybody. Yeah, so that there we go. Those are some more outside of the box options for head coach at Bowie State University. Tell me what you think about that. And if you have anybody else in mind, let me know what you think about that. And if you're hearing some things about what we might be about to do, definitely let me know about that. I know how to keep a secret. 90% of the things that I've heard over the past 2 years, I've never said. So trust me, you could trust me. But there we have it. Peace.